Why, hello, everybody. This is Harry Felker. This is the network, Feature Focus Friday. We are just waiting for Dan VanDer to come on, and I got the thumbs up that we have sound, so we are good for sound. Yay! As you all know, I have to wear the cans, or else there's this terrible feedback. So, while we're waiting for Dan VanDer, who else is all here? I've got two people from Facebook, two people from YouTube.
I might be one of them.
Well, of course you're one of them.
On each. So hello and thank you everybody for joining us this evening here at the network. I'm hitting over here, but
Donna, the sound chick. Here we go. There.
I'm staying hidden, man. I'm behind the scenes.
Don't mind the woman behind the microphone, Boone. All right, so while we're waiting for Dan, let's look see that. As far as the network is concerned, I believe I have a line on somebody for next week. Gregory Smith, another apparel designer. And I'm hoping that Jordan Scott will get her shit together with her business as far as feeling comfortable with the knowledge, comfortable enough with the knowledge that she'll be able to come on and talk about her thing.
Get your shit, put it in a bag, and get over here.
Get all of your shit and get it together and put it in a bag and take it to a shit store and sell it, or put it in a shit museum, but get your shit together. Or something like that.
Something of that nature. But definitely bring it here.
But yeah, definitely get your shit together and come on over and take a look at it. I believe we also have possibly Mr. Friedland coming for a reshoot. Hi, Vincent. How are you? Coming for a reshoot on his because he has some better equipment.
Yes.
So that will be interesting. We'll be able to maybe
dive.
not flash back and forth between his dashboard. Oh, there he is.
Hey, James.
Hi. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Okay, so let's get my face in the camera. Yeah, it cuts the screen in half, and I never really know where it's going to go. So welcome, Dave. Dan. Dan is a former peer of mine at the Mousetrap. And he has a project. It's called All Pro Restaurant Coaches, I believe.
Yep.
And from what I understood from the video, the All Pro Restaurant Coaches is sort of like a tool to get talent where talent is needed as far as restaurants are concerned. It's not only cooks. It's from the example in there, it was a bartender, could be servers, and all sorts of stuff like that. Is that correct?
That's correct. So All Pro Restaurant Coaches, it's actually a company I started a couple of years ago, basically just as like a consulting company for restaurants to help restaurants be more successful, to help restaurant owners make their life easier. And then during the course of helping out some of the restaurants, and I came across the observation that the biggest problem most restaurants have is finding great talent and then training. Those two things. If you find great talent and you train them well, you can, the rest takes care of itself as long as you have decent food, So the first part that I wanted to address was the finding great talent. So I started out with just like taking my Facebook page, All Pro Restaurant Coaches, and just kind of getting two different groups together: restaurant owners, a page for restaurant owners, and a page for restaurant employees, and then just kind of created a forum for them to share and to do whatever, and it just kind of developed into what is now called the Team Up hiring platform. So basically, what it is, if you'll see on it's basically it's All Pro Restaurant Coaches Team Up app. It's on the Apple Store and on the Google Play Store. So if you're a restaurant employee, you can go in there and sign up for the Team Up app. Enter your information. It's just like applying for a regular job. You're going to enter all your information. You're going to enter your references, your work history, what positions that you want to work, how much you get paid, how much you want to get paid, your availability, all those things you'll fill in. We'll contact you, do a interview either on Zoom or on Google Meet, and then if we decide that you're going to be a good fit for what we have, then we'll go ahead and do a background check. We'll do a personality profile test and get you 100% vetted into the system. So you don't have to leave your job. You can still work at the Mousetrap. You can still work at wherever you work, but we have you in our pool of available candidates. So where this is monetized, I guess, is we sign up restaurant companies, restaurant owners, restaurant operators for our service. So they'll enter all their information, like how many employees that they have, how many they hired last year, how many, what the revenue is, and based on that, we'll come up with a payment plan for them where we do initial startup fee of X amount of dollars, and then for X amount of dollars a month, we'll make sure that you always have available candidates. So if I'm Bob's Restaurant and I have 40 employees, say, we'll come in and say, all right, well, we have this pool of candidates. They're already vetted. They're the best of the best. We're not going to bring on board people that we wouldn't want to put in our own establishments. They're representing All Pro Restaurant Coaches. The worst thing that we can do as a business is put a bad employee into a situation. It'll just ruin our reputation. So we'll say okay, well, we'll set you up for $150 setup fee, and then $100 a month. We'll make sure that you always have quality employees. So all of it's done on the app. So the owner will have the app, and they can just go in and say, hey, Dan, I need a bartender and a server. We're going to pay X amount of dollars. I have this much availability. And then I can just look at my pool of talent and say, okay, Harry and Susie, I have a job for you at this restaurant. Here's what they want to pay. Are you interested or not? And then just, basically put you over there. So the way that it benefits both sides is the restaurant owners. I mean, I've run a lot of restaurants. I've been a GM. I've been a training manager. I've been a lot of things. And one of the things that I hated most about my job was when that you have 5 interviews set up in the afternoon, and your day is pretty much shot because you're going to be sitting conducting interviews. Interviews all day long. And of the 10 people you interview, you might hire one of them. Mm-hmm. And the others are just, I don't want to sound crass, but they're just wasting your time. So this takes all that off the plate of the restaurant owner. They don't have to worry about interviews, especially in this day and age of, COVID, whatever else. They're not having, a line of people walking through the restaurants all day long looking for a job. They don't have to spend time looking at resumes, putting out job postings, doing all that stuff. They're not doing background checks. They're not having to do personality profile tests, all of which costs money. It's not cheap to run background checks and personality profiles for all your employees. But when I can tell the company that does these, I'm going to have over 100 candidates in my profile, they can give me a special price. But if you're a restaurant that's doing 1 or 2 a month, you're going to pay top notch for any kind of background checks and personality profiles. So it's taken all that time and all that money off of the plate of the restaurant owners. And for restaurant employees, I just took a guy on today that he just got a job because he needed a job. And this was first the one that came about. but he signs on with me, and now he's in my list of candidates, and he can still take that other job, work it as long as he wants. And then when I have something better that comes along that I can show him, he can say, hey, that's great. That's what I was really wanting. And so he doesn't have to quit his job. He doesn't have to drive all over town, go to interviews. That's another thing that, restaurant employees don't have time to go drive to 4 or 5 interviews.
To job search.
Yeah, exactly. So they're keeping their job. They're doing everything like normal. Their resume is not out there for the whole world to see, for their boss to see. That's creates an uncomfortable situation when you go to work and your boss knows that you just posted your resume on Indeed and it just came about. So it's kind of it solves 2 problems at the same time. So my biggest thing is I love the restaurant business. It's what I've done my whole life. Ever since I was 14, I started it as a busboy. It's in my blood. It's what I do. And I want it to be something that is a respected and enjoyable business to be in. I've seen restaurant managers, owners just get so burnt out on the mundane things that it's not fun. So I want to take as much of the pain out of the business as I can. So that's where this came up. And then the other part is the training piece, which is once we get the Team Up app going and get that plate spinning, we want to take on the whole training piece. So I'm not sure exactly what it's going to look like. It's going to be another kind of online app thing to where restaurants can sign in, and their whole training piece will be on an app that they can have their new hires download and go from there. But that's the direction that we're going in. So I'm really excited about it. And right now we're just rolling out in Orlando. I just got the Google Play Store to approve it this week. So it's just now rolling out. After I get Orlando, I want to, kind of move into Dallas, since there's a lot of restaurant headquarters in Dallas, and kind of get that market going. And then from there on, it's, nationwide. We'll blow this thing up and see what we can do.
Yeah. Once you cross the hurdle of going interstate, then there's no point in not going just nationwide.
Yeah.
That's generally how that usually goes progress wise. If you're doing business in 2 states, then it's no different than doing business in the 48 congruent states.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's definitely a big thing. And getting the Google Play Store app is a big step in that direction.
Yeah.
Everybody's crazy for Apple, but 9 times out of 10, most restaurant workers, the labor part, they can't afford an Apple phone anymore. It's gotten to the point where it's crazy now.
Yeah.
No,
it's
you
true.
need to make a car payment or buy an Apple phone. Which one you're gonna do?
Yeah, it's like taking out a second mortgage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's been kind of a blessing and a curse since I got laid off.
Yeah.
It gave me 2 months of full pay just to get this thing nailed down and get it out there. So it worked out well.
Yeah, that's what I was telling like a lot of people. It's like everybody who got laid off in October. Yeah, it sucks. Absolutely, it sucks because you don't have a job. But you have 2 months of getting paid to look for a job. And that's something like in the position of a restaurant worker. That's something you don't get.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
And in the outside of where we were working world, I remember because I was there, 7 days a week working. That happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Opening and then closing and then opening again. That happens all the time. And there's no overtime and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I could definitely see how this is absolute benefit to the entire industry. Like it's not even like a it's good for this portion of it. It's the entire industry benefits from that. The servers and the bartenders who are holding down two or three bartending serving jobs just to make sure that they have enough tips to get through. Nobody has any time, especially
exactly.
especially
Yeah.
now because everyone's trying to like get as much work in as possible from last year's travesty. The 3 months of not working, nobody did, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And and absolutely benefit to businesses because it actually the way it sounds and correct me if I'm wrong is it kind of puts them on the same footing as the mousetraps hiring process where you're actually just casting in that sense.
Yeah, true. That's very true. You know,
So,
they're basically putting in a requisition for whatever they need filled. You know, and it's
right.
I guess it's exactly the same concept. Like, you know, I need
Yeah,
this and that, and here you go. Yeah, I didn't even think of it that way, but you're right.
yeah, like when you were explaining it to me, I'm like, it's just like casting. You know, casting gets a pool of candidates, and they hold on to that pool of candidates for 6 months, and then they have to reapply. But as they're needed, the restaurants they don't really do any of the entry training stuff either. I
Right.
mean, and that's the next level that you're talking about doing too is doing a like the restaurant uploads their training stuff to your right. You were talking about that
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
so I
just
mean.
not now. I'm concerned that I'm just copying where I used to work.
It's a system that works for multiple
Yeah,
restaurants. So
yeah,
why not copy it? It's not illegal to copy the process. It would
yeah,
be illegal to copy the intellectual property. So don't put any Disney stuff on it, and you're good.
yeah.
but
That's not gonna happen.
yeah, but yeah, like it sounds exactly like that process, and that's actually like it's a sensible process for multiple restaurants.
Right, right.
It's just that the multiple restaurants don't all work for all pro
One.
restaurant
Right,
code. Yeah.
right.
So they're all it's more of like a what's the a distributed network of
Yeah,
employees basically, which I think personally is like the way of the future. It's like that's how we're going to end up moving towards where it's going to be more of a contractor doing the job type of thing, like gig economy, but legit.
right.
So,
I get you.
but that's like my personal feeling. Like if I'm looking in my crystal ball, that's what I'm seeing. And I mean, it's great that you're like one step ahead of that whole curve too. I mean, that puts you like you're in the experienced position when the trend hits, and then you're that's absolute forward thinking.
Well, I mean, it all boils down to just making people's lives easier. That's what it's about, you know. And it's definitely the trend toward, you know, doing more things virtual and doing less hands-on things. It's, you know, it's the way the business is going.
So the quote unquote new normal now.
Yeah, I hate that term. I hate
it too. But in this case, it's just the way that things are going. You know,
yeah.
If you can't be in an area in an enclosed area with someone for a prolonged period of time without wearing a mask, a face shield, a riot shield, and whatever, you gotta you gotta find a way around that. And doing things digitally is the premier solution. I mean, it's the solution for everyone that was displaced from work when they were trying to find things to do. They immediately went to the internet. What can I sell on the internet? Can I do content? Can I make crafts at home and send them out?
Right.
Do I have a service I can provide? I can't tell you how many fellow employees started up businesses over the summertime. That's the reason why I did this, was to try to help them get their voices out there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we definitely appreciate it. A place to get the word out there. It's funny that earlier today, I'm on the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association Education Committee, and we had a meeting earlier today, and we were talking about all the college kids that are coming out and all of the high schoolers that are in the Pro Start program for restaurants and doing internships and things like that. And they were like, the biggest problem we have right now is all these kids that need to find work and all these restaurants that need to hire people, but we have no way to connect them in this, COVID day and age. I'm like, I might have a little something for that. I have just the thing.
I have just the thing.
It's so weird that
Restaurant coaching.
it just came out this week, and it's like, yeah, this is our biggest problem. I'm like, I have your big solution.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's
absolutely
speaks to where we're at.
It's almost fortuitous, you could say. It's absolutely like exciting stuff. I've been checking it out and stuff like that. I am going to say one thing. When I watched the video, I was like, wow, this actually, did they get the same voice actor from the mouse? Because the voicing on it sounds exactly like one of the young ladies who does the talking on the videos.
It could be, because the company I used for it is in California, and the animator, she hired somebody that she knows that does voice animation in Southern California, so it could very well could have been. Yeah, maybe. It very well could have been, yeah.
Might be a small world type of situation there.
Could be.
But yeah, it was like, wow, this sounds like I'm doing training at work. Because we just got like this new training video thing done about the whole why we're staying 6 feet apart, like we needed to know, like we didn't already know.
A year later, they're rolling that training out, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, they rolled it out about 8 months ago, but then it got buggy and no one could finish it, so they had to fix it, and that took another 2 months. And we're finally getting everybody done with it now, a year later. But yeah, I mean, like this year, I know I talked to you about this while we were still working together about the whole I'm just looking for a way out. That's like I just don't want to work for anybody anymore. I mean, I love cooking, but I don't like working for people anymore. Like I spent the 3 months I spent at home, I was like, this would be great if I could just work from here for myself. No stress, no schedule, no dealing with someone who says they know more than I do.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that I've been doing this longer than they've been alive. It's all the little things that, it's just, I have this like no stress lifestyle that I want to actually achieve. So
I just have to find out how to monetize it. You're all set.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on it. We actually sold our first instrument at the beginning of the year. We're working on instrument number 2. 3 is being delivered, and I got to order number 4. So we're getting there. I mean, we're trying to do 12 instruments this year. Then next year I'm going to up it and try to do something a little more vanilla, and then hopefully by then I have students for learning music. I mean, and then that's it. Then I'm pretty much just saving my money until I'm ready to leave this place.
Yeah.
And once I leave this place, I'm quitting that place because I'm not driving hours to work or anything like that. I'm going. I'm looking at places up on the West Coast.
Oh, really?
I'm going to be over on the Gulf Coast and try to be as far away from people as being close enough to be able to still get food. That's about it,
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, I'm old. I'm done with people. But yeah, I mean, this is like super exciting. Like it's like watching a brand new phase of an industry just being born, and being able to see it on like an individually owned business, because that's that's what you are at this point.
Yeah.
A network of 50 employees and stuff like that. It's your thing. So it's like watching Amazon come into life. Yeah,
it is. I mean, it's exciting to see where I was, from when I first had the idea to now, it's like it's crazy how fast everything has gone. You know, one of the biggest thrills for me is when I explain it to somebody and you can see it in their eyes, like, wow, that's a really good idea. That's going to change an industry. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, you're right, it is. Like,
Yeah, you are definitely you're the Edison of restaurant employment. You're basically changing the whole entire game, and that's impressive. I mean, it's scary, but it's in your shoes. You're probably like, oh crap, I hope I don't fuck it up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Every day I think that. It's like, what if I mess this whole thing up? And then but no,
But you got the knowledge. You know what you're doing and everything like that. I mean, you've been in all of the positions. You've been in the position of the cook. You've been in the position of the manager. So you kind of have the advantage.
Yeah. Let's just say I have the experience.
Yeah.
At this age, it's been a lifelong experience that brought me to this point. So, it is what it is. I am where I am because of all that experience. So.
Right. So that's awesome. That's a whole bunch of awesome right there.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming, because this is what makes this all happen is people sharing their projects, getting it out there. Oh wait, let me get that. Where is it? All right. The website is allprorestaurantcoaches.com.
Allprocoaches.net.
Allprocoaches.net.
Yep.
Because I'm going to I have to say this because we're actually also simulcasting on something called rlmradio.xyz, and they don't actually get to see any of this. They are only hearing it. So it's also
really?
It's also on internet radio as well, thanks to Vincent Grimm and all the people over at RLM Radio for sharing the podcast. The live. Allrestaurantcoaches.net.
Allprocoaches.net.
Oh, I'll get it right one day. Allprocoaches.net is the website, and the app is the Team Up app on the Apple Store and on Google Play.
Yes, there's links on that website that they can download the app from for both the Google Play and the Apple Store.
Outstanding. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you for doing what you do, because this is like I've talked to people, and they're changing industries that they're in, but this is like one of the biggest changes I've actually seen come through here. So I'm impressed on what you're doing, like severely impressed, and I'm sure anybody who actually knows the restaurant industry, when they hear this, they're going to go, "Holy crap!" And I know you're going to be successful. You're going to knock this out of the park, because, well, I know your work ethic because I've worked with you before, and both ends of the industry. So it's not like there's going to be many curveballs for you. So I mean, this is actually outstanding. So
great.
Thank you for coming on.
I'm glad you share my vision.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's an impressive vision. It's an idea I didn't even fathom. I didn't even think of. It was like when I heard it, I was like, this is so obvious. And then I thought, up until this point, why didn't I think of something like this? It's perfect. And lo and behold, someone else got it. And so congratulations, man. This is going to be big, and I'm going to be able to say, I used to work with that guy. I knew him when he used to work eggs every day.
Yeah, the permanent expo guy.
The permanent expo guy.
Yeah. All right, Harry. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and keep up the good work. All right, brother.
You too, man. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
All right, that was Dan VanDer, All Pro Restaurant Coaches. That's allprocoaches.net. And if you are in the restaurant industry, absolutely look up his app. Currently, he is operating in the Orlando area because that's where he is. His next launch, he says, is going to be in Dallas. And then from there, it's going to just grow like wildfire to worldwide. I mean, this is like, it's an insanely good idea.
Just from what I've heard about it, yeah, I'm like wondering why I never even thought of it.
See,
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I am ashamed of myself.
And
I am ashamed of myself for not coming up with this idea. But to be fair, he'd been working on this for like 3 years. So,
yeah.
so it's like
he's correct. I mean, the whole hiring process
is a fucking disaster for
yeah,
restaurants.
It is a waste of time and resources when you have other things better to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. I mean,
yeah.
Thank you.
I want to thank Dan from All Pro Restaurant Coaches. You can find him on Facebook under All Pro Restaurant Coaches and his website, allprocoaches.com. If you're in the Orlando area, download the app. Become like the page so that you can see when he's going to be updating to possibly hit your area as well.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah,
in
this
like area where hospitality is like
right.
the number one industry, much success to him. This
is gonna be insane. Like he is gonna knock this one out of the park. I am super impressed by this. So thank you everybody for stopping by.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. What are we gonna have for dinner? I'm gonna have meat out, but I don't know.
There's various meats, I think.
I think we just have veal out, but
yeah.
I'm thinking of going like a little bit of a keto type meal. I'm doing something like that, not no rice. I don't want rice. I don't want anything heavy.
Yeah, no heavies.
Is that children?
I don't know.
Maybe someone's apparently being murdered outside. So
drugs.
I'm gonna go before
drunk children.
Before we start recording a crime scene, and then I become a witness. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys.